Hi guys, it's Beatty. Today I have some weird beauty slash makeup products to try out. Let's get started. I was browsing Shein before Christmas and I found a whole box of crap, or like weird things that we can try out together. So in my box of crap, I should probably call it differently. Box of wonder. No, ew. Box of surprises. Box of mysteries. First thing I have to try out is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre face mask. And yes, this is how it came packaged. The horror has started. Please don't get scared, but this is why I called it the Texas Chainsaw Massacre face mask. It literally is a face. I'm not going to put something on my face that's straight out of a package, so I washed it with antibacterial soap. This is designed to help to keep your sheet mask in place on your face. I'm going to try this out with these. This is the best sheet mask in the planet. If you don't know about the existence of this, you need to know about it. It's basically the best sheet masks I have ever found. And I've been through like a bajillion of them in my life. They have 30 inside, little tongues to grab them from the inside. So it's nice and sanitary. This is gonna be the new look. I'm wiping my face with toner so it's clean. And I put my face mask on. As you can see, it doesn't touch everywhere. It definitely doesn't touch here. It goes away from my upper lip and my chin. I think those are the first places that go. Let's see if this holds it in place. I think it's too small. My ear hurts. Slight problem. Don't wear earrings when you're doing this. That's number one. Slight problem number two. I don't think this fits my face very well. This part does not touch the face at all. So that means that the problem that we had when we put the mask on, of this coming away, is still here. This just looks ridiculous. The chin, it keeps coming away and making like a pocket right next to the nose. It's still not touching there. Just here it touches. Technically, it touches forehead and cheeks. I don't think I need this. I'll see you in 20 minutes. Let's see the results. I actually think that this is quite a lot drier than it normally is after 20 minutes. I think maybe the pressure pushed the serum into my face more than it normally would. I'm not mad at it except of the fact that there's literally nothing in this area. I actually thought that this is crap. Because of the way this was sitting on my face, I didn't ever think that I would use this. But actually, I think I would. I feel like more of the serum got into my face. And then the areas that didn't, as you could see on the beginning, they normally kind of come off of my face and I have to keep pressing them down. So I guess I'll just do that, but with this on. I actually like this. The next product that I have to try out is this. This is supposed to be a compact that turns any foundation into cushion foundation. Let's make cushion foundation. What could go wrong? I could break it before I make it. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. ASMR style. From what I gathered about cushion foundations, they're supposed to be more like tinted moisturizers. I actually don't have any liquidy foundation at the moment that I like, but I do have a hack for a tinted moisturizer that is just incredible. It makes your face look so beautiful, like you're wearing no makeup at all. You're actually glowing like an angel. We're gonna do that. I don't know if it's going to work with this because it's still quite a thick formula, but I'm gonna try anyways. What I'm talking about is mixing my foundation with a good old Nivea cream, and that's what makes a tinted moisturizer from heaven. Just trust me, okay? Trust me. Right now I have 10 pumps of the darker foundation and 15 pumps of the lighter foundation on my plate. I'm going to add Nivea cream now. This is quite a lot, but I normally add quite a lot to my foundation to make it a tinted moisturizer. So if I'm making like 15 batches, then this is probably not even enough. I don't know if this is going to flow through the cushion. This kind of looks like caramel whipped cream or something. I set myself for success, didn't I? What I think it should happen is I should fill in the inside of this and then the cushion should soak up the foundation. I put some on the bottom and now I'm going to cover it with the cushion and see if it soaks up. This was a bad idea, right? I should have used the liquidy foundation. It's too late now. Gently pressing the top to see if anything will happen. My biggest concern was that it's going to seep out through the sides, so that's why I put in just a little bit. It didn't do that, so I'm going to try to take it out and put more. It's kind of sinking into the cushion. Well, I cannot really put more. Can't scrape it on the side. Or maybe I can. Should I just do that? No, I shouldn't. As always, I make a mess. No surprise there. Let's just try if this actually works. Cushion, come on. Don't be a bitch. I'm pressing. Fuck it. I think you really need a liquidy foundation for this. I fucked up. This sponge is quite porous, so eventually it seeps through. Let's try it out. Everything is already dirty. Hello? Is there anything coming out of this? No. Yeah, I really don't think that the foundation I have in this, or my tinted moisturizer idea thing, that it's a correct thing to put inside. I guess it's too thick. I need a foundation that's more liquidy, basically. Well, that was a bust. I am going to probably get rid of this foundation, whatever I put in here, and in the future I'll make a short with actual liquidy foundation and see if that will work with this compact. But for now, it's a bust. Well, this is very inconvenient, but the next product I have is cushion foundation pads, I guess. And these are very cute green ones, and they say I'm pineapple. I was going to try and see if these are better than the one you receive in this. The texture is a little bit different to the one that you receive in the pot. It's a bit more porous, I guess. Let me try the pineapple one. This is the effect that I was expecting. More of a visible coverage on a face. But I think that's not the cushion's fault. That's my fault. This didn't have enough product on it to do this. And I painted my hair. Of course I did. Stupid. The blue one. The blue one, once I applied more product, obviously does the same thing. Both of them are doing pretty much the same. Now that I have these two in my hand, I can feel this one is a bit thicker this way. It's a little more soft on the face. But let's see if it fits into the packaging should you want to swap out your dirty blue sponge for a dirty green sponge. Yeah, totally fits. To be honest, this is the reason why I bought this, to have replacement sponges for my cushion foundation. But now I don't have a cushion foundation, so there's one more thing that I'm curious about with these, and that is if they work with powder. Let's use it with the loose powder. Normally what I do with powder puffs is I pick up some powder, put it on my hand to distribute it throughout the sponge, and then apply. Okay, this actually works for blurring the pores. I'm surprised. I did not think that this sponge consistency would work because I never liked powder with Beauty Blender, but maybe it's because Beauty Blender is wet and this is not. These officially work with powder, probably even better than powder puffs. Next thing that I have to try is a little version of the sponge with the finger. How cute. First, under eye concealer. As this blend, in a pinch this will do, but I think I prefer a brush. I always have preferred a brush. You just have more control over what you're doing, and this kind of covers the area and then you cannot see where you're blending. That's why I like the brush more, to be able to see where I'm blending. And I guess if you want to powder a small area, then this will be better than the bigger sponge because you have more control over how much powder you take and where it goes. Now we're going into the crazy pants category, because I have cats. These are stencils to make your liquid eyeliner skill easier. The instructions read: the cat line tutorial is very suitable for beginner of eye makeup, and you could choose a shape to match your eye shape, which could show the charming of eye makeup, then owning a natural and pretty eyeliner. What? One tip, keep the hand stable when drawing the eye makeup to avoid drawing again. Thanks for the tip, I guess. They give you all sorts of instruction on the back as well to let you know how you can use this. There's 2 cuts in here. There's one cut in the resting pose and one cut in compromising pose. We're gonna start with the compromising pose cut because that's what's on the card first. I don't see any reason why would I want to keep this on my eye. I'm sure it's great, don't get me wrong, but we all know my position on liquid eyeliner. You should just practice and learn it. Let me bring my mirror closer because I'm blind and this is not a job for a blind person. I actually see 2 tips in here with this cut that are eyeshadow tips. I guess we're putting on eyeshadow also. The first tip for eyeshadow is to use this back leg here to make, I guess, like a cut crease. I'm sure this is gonna be great. The picture shows like this on a corner. I don't even know how I'm supposed to hold this, but okay. And then they just put eyeshadow, I guess. This is very sad for hooded eye people. This did not come up nearly high enough for me to be able to even wear it. But don't lose hope. We have the second tip. The second eye crease is, I guess, this tail. Because of my brow bone, this is turning up not straight, but actually if you want a half cut crease, this is great. I actually would use this for a half cut crease. Now let's go with the eyeliner tips. This cut provides a really weird eyeliners. I guess this is more for Asian eye shapes, which I don't have. Number 1 is to kill him and then use this. Pressing firmly. I need a hand to hold it in 3 points, but I don't have enough hand. It's very hard to know what you're doing because what the fuck? This was my good eye. If I fill this in, kind of good, I guess. It's just very small, but most people would probably like that. The only problem is that you can't really hold it down and then draw because the line doesn't come out straight. Next one that we're going to try is this one. You just use the leg here and the body here. I don't know how am I supposed to do this. I don't think my eye shape is right for this. That's basically my conclusion. Yeah, it's lovely. Did my eyeliner so well. The last tip that they have here is to use the back of the leg here. And I think this is supposed to be like to do the aegyo I guess. However, the picture doesn't show that. On the picture she has it like here, but I don't know why would I want an eyeliner there. Maybe I don't know something that she knows. I definitely don't know something that she knows. Is this how it's supposed to be looking? I don't think so. Let's just move on to the second cut. First they want us to use the neck, close our eye and do the eyeliner like this. How? I don't understand, to be honest, but let's do this. It's not on my lash line, but I don't think that's the cat's problem. I think that's my problem. If you just want like a normal eyeliner, it works, but also, why wouldn't you just close your eye and use the eyeliner? It's just a straight line to draw. It's not rocket science. I'm starting to get mad. Number 2, we need to use the tail. I'm gonna use it with an eyeshadow because I think that's what it's for. They want me to use this tail this way to make like an edge for an eyeshadow. Okay, now see this? This is what I'm talking about. This I would use. This works. Second tip out of 10, that works. Now I'm using the butt of the cut. First of all, this is so uncomfortable on the eye. I don't even know how I'm supposed to press this. I mean, no, this is not what it's supposed to be. Actually, if you want to turn this eyeliner to like the swoop liner, you know what I mean, like this kind, then maybe yes. I'm repurposing these, okay? Number 9, we're using the butt of the tail and it says to put it here and draw on the bottom, I guess. Oh, okay. I'm not gonna lie, this is quite interesting. This actually might help to create a very interesting shape. I actually quite like this. 3 out of 10. work. Last one uses the tail upside down. The problem that I have with these is that you need 3 points to be held down to your eye, because otherwise this one is flopping and you can't really do much about that. So now whatever I'm doing, there's one place that's not held down properly, so when I'm filling this in, it's just going underneath. See what I mean? Like, I wasn't able to fill this in. I didn't hold it down in the right place, I guess. To be honest, I kind of knew I'm not going to like this, because I despise any device that helps you to learn eyeliner. Practice makes perfect, or practice makes better. Make yourself better at eyeliner by practicing it. Just don't buy this. These cuts will go to rest after today, so say goodbye. The last product that I have is something that I'm actually really excited about, and it's this. And I know what you're thinking. This looks like nothing. It's true. It does look like nothing. This is silicone brush for a lip balm. And the reason why I'm so excited about this is because I found this. Yes, you read this correctly. It's Harry Potter lip balm. I am a 90s child. I read Harry Potter books like 1,000 times, cover to cover. You can only imagine how excited I was when I saw that they have Harry Potter Cauldron lip balm. I got the silicone brush to go with it because I wanted to include it in this video, and I couldn't if there was no gimmicky shit thing to try with it. First of all, the quality of this is questionable because I can see like a bit of silicone not shaved on the top. This is really cute. Faint mint flavor scent. Does have little bubbles on the top, which kind of concerns me. It has a scooper already, but we're just gonna ignore this. The purpose of this is, I guess, to be able to scoop out the lip balm and then apply it to your lips. It's just to be more sanitary, right? Ooh, this is actually really soft. Just picked up a little bit. Let's see. Wait, it has glitter. I don't know if I'm blind or crazy, but I see shimmer inside of this on my lips. But I can't see any on the brush. Can you see? Maybe the camera can pick it up. This is such a weird texture. It's kind of grainy at first, and then it melts on the lip. Please, am I crazy, or is there mica inside of this? Maybe I'm crazy. Why does it look like it's sparkling in the mirror? Kind of looks like it, but it kind of doesn't. What? I'm literally going crazy. Actually, what I wanted to try with this also is how precise it is for applying lipstick. If you're a makeup artist, this must be so much easier to clean than your actual makeup brushes, because makeup brushes take forever to clean. And if you ever cleaned a makeup brush that has lipstick on it, you know that is like a pain of your existence. I have some lipstick. I think if I would be doing jobs as makeup artist, I would use this instead of brushes, because you normally put lip liner on anyway, so you make your borders with that, and this would just fill in the rest with the lipstick, and then you can just literally wipe it off with alcohol wipes, and that's it. I actually think that this is a good product. And that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed my crazy product tryout thing. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to my channel. I usually do makeup and lifestyle content, and I'll see you next time. I don't know what I'm doing.